Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here to share with you, our viewers. My name is Denise Williams, and I have with me the awesome Bridget Buckner. Yay!
Hello,
What?
everybody.
How to improve your money experience? As a financial coach, and Bridge, you are a digital marketing educator, motivational speaker, and you are part of a community that teaches how to make money in Forex. And I, of course, teach persons how to create that map to
hmm
make money work for them. One of the things I think we need to talk about is the money experience. So many persons are weighted down and it's heavy in terms of their money experience, and we just want to talk about that because this is part of our money mindset mastermind. And what's the beautiful thing about a mastermind is where two people agree, that energy is so lifted. So thank you, Bridget, for being a part of this mastermind. So, what is this mastermind about? Who is it for? Well, if more than 25% of your income is paid out in debt, we're here to support you. If you want to shift your mindset to a positive relationship with money, we're here to support you. And if you're ready to learn new ways to relate to cash, we are ready to support you. And you can always catch us on the replay of our YouTube channel so that you can get, a lift in your mindset. So, as I was talking about, Bridget, residual and traded income specialist. And she dropped out. She had a little bit of technology. But I want you to subscribe and share this mastermind with the people you know that need a lift. So we're here to support you. So the big idea we're going to talk about in this conversation is that the map is not the territory. What does that mean? Oh my goodness, the map is not the territory. Well, think about a roadmap. So you have a map and you're driving along and you're trying to get to your particular destination, right? And as you're driving, if your map is not a good map, you're going to get lost, you know? And that's how it works on the road. But how does that work in reality? Well, let me, share my story is that in 2018 when I was going through a really rough divorce, I felt myself shrinking. I felt like I had no talent. I felt like I had no skill. I just felt myself shrinking, shrinking, shrinking. And that meant that things weren't working for me the way I had wanted them to work. And my map in my mind of my life became limited. Okay. And I saw myself in a limited way. I saw myself in such a depressed mode, and I wasn't getting the results I want. Right? The map that you have in your mind is not the entire territory of the world. And that's a lesson that is so important for us to pick up. Okay, Bridge, how
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you? I
I
mean, if
am
I
doing great.
they tell you the brain is lazy, how does that sound? Does that sound harsh?
you know, I, the brain is really an organ that always works overtime, and it
Mm.
takes in so much stimuli that whenever people have hurt, you begin to block yourself. People have the capacity to block themselves. So I understand what you mean by the lazy brain, but it really sometimes is a hurt heart or a tired
Yes,
mind. And
yes.
when you are fearful or scared or you fail too much, you literally cause your brain to not search for solutions as quickly and as easily as it used to. You're just too much disappointment. And so mindset is really important, because people have to really, really know what their dreams are, what their focus is, what they really want to achieve, what their values are. And when you hold true to some kind of a guiding post, you can pull yourself back from going down the rabbit hole, you know? It's a
Yeah.
consciousness that you have to stay on top of, to know that, listen, when I feel myself thinking negative thoughts and being fearful and, isolating, that's a thing that happens when people are in the wrong mindset. They want to isolate, and these things don't help you forward. So it's a consciousness that's going to keep your mind from what you're calling the lazy mind. It's to be excited takes work. To start something new takes work. To learn something new takes work. And I tell you this quote that, I love quotes, right? But
Yes, yes.
opportunity shows up all the time and people miss it because it's dressed up in overalls.
Right. Yes, yes.
It's not a free ride, there's going to be work to change. And most people feel like they don't have the time or the energy or the scope to do it. And it's just such a lie. And people just need that consciousness, that decision that they need to do something differently. And suddenly the mind will become unlazy the minute you make a decision.
Yeah. Now, here is some of the things the lazy brain may say. My parents handled money this way, so that's the way it's always done.
That's right.
Now, the mind who is ready to get to work is going to say, I will learn a new way to make money work for me. I know people who will say, my parents said don't borrow. My parents said the stock market is risky. And so they do nothing, okay, with their money. And that's part of their map, is literally their parents' map. And so they don't know the territory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so learning a new way is part of learning a new life. And that can be scary for people, right?
True.
Or how about this one? Organizing my money is too much work. Okay, that sounds like a lazy mind, a lazy brain. Versus when I track my money, I grow my money.
That's
so
right.
I'm willing to do the work, to make sure my money is where it's supposed to be. That's an entirely different mindset.
True.
So our money situation, where we are financially, is really a function of emotions plus experiences. And oh my God, I can tell you, when I was, going through the custody, court matters with my kids, and my emotions were scattershot all over the place, my money reflected that, right?
Yes.
My money reflected that. And so my money situation was as scattered as my emotions with my children. And so that is something I needed coaching about. That is something I needed help and mentorship to unwind. And so that is something really, really, really important for persons. And so these are questions you can ask yourself. What do you feel about your current debt situation? Yeah. So part of the whole money situation, the questions we're asking of money, your debt, how does that feel? Do you feel like you'll be in debt forever? Because if that's the case, again, there is help. Okay, there's solutions, there's debt solutions, there's income solutions on two sides. So it's not, the little tiny map that you may see. There's a wider territory.
Denise, if I may jump in here again,
and
on
that's
the
the question.
mindset.
Could there be a way out of debt that you just don't have? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not hearing you well. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just heard you. Try again.
Great. Yeah, I was jumping in just to piggyback on that again because I heard you say, how can you get out of debt? And when I think of what this topic that we're talking about today is, it's about the mindset. And what people don't understand is that getting wealthy or getting financially
Yeah.
free or getting, to a good cash flow position really starts way before you invest the first dollar. It starts when you make that decision
Right.
to say, I am going to be wealthy. I will be out of debt. I will have good cash flow. You first decide that, you commit to that. And suddenly solutions come. You know what they say, right? When the student is ready, the teacher
This
appears. So you have to get yourself
is
first ready to receive the new habits, the new thoughts, the new things that's necessary for life to change.
absolutely. Absolutely. And the next question, because we're just throwing out these questions to get you in the mindset to question your mind. What about your current experience at the bank? Do you feel shame? Do you feel happy when you're going to the bank? Do you feel like a burden? Again, that reflects your money experience. When you talk to a banker or a customer service rep, do you feel shame? And that's something we need to consider, because if shame is part of your financial emotions, it will be reflected in your experience. Now, what did your parents tell you about debt? A lot of people hear, oh, never a lender or a borrower be, or the debtor is a slave to and so it's so negative that the debt isn't a tool. And so when it's time to get out of debt, you're not using tools. And that's something we really have to understand, right? And so that is something we as coaches, we help persons to release that experience. So
Wow.
emotions plus experience equal your money experience. And so right there, I mean, we are just giving you the formula to have a better money experience, because one, you got to look at those emotions. That's where you have to dig deep, because emotions, drop the E and you have motion. So those feelings will carry you where you don't want to go. And
I
then
know.
experience, your money experience. Who are you hanging out with? Who are you spending time with? Right? That's a question. So your emotions plus experience equal your money experience. So what are your current thoughts about money? Do you feel empowered or do you feel disempowered? Do you feel down? Do you feel the heaviness of it? These are important questions to ask when you want to find solutions. And we're all about solutions. The next question is, what words are you using about money? Because guess what? The words you're using about money, you use them to yourself in your head first. I mean, Bridget, have we not woken up and said, oh, Lord, I don't have enough money this morning?
Anxiety and fear, that's what that does. That cripples
Yeah,
your whole day.
absolutely. 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 It is rough. Yeah. And so, really and truly, as long as this technology is behaving itself, right? So, did you know that your thoughts, go back, Mr. PowerPoint. Here we go. So, you know that your thoughts plus your words, that equals your current money map, right? So, remember, your experience and your emotions feed your thoughts. And then the words you add to that creates your money map. Okay. And that map is the money vision in your brain. So literally somebody will say, I don't have enough money. What they're really saying is, I don't have a vision. I don't know what else to do.
That's
I
right.
literally don't know I don't have a plan. I don't have a vision. I don't have a clue. And it may be I'm afraid to ask. Right? Oh, went back. Sorry. So the words you're using about money, as we said, so the technology is a bit slow. Right. So we talked about that. So I'm trying to get this PowerPoint to go forward. And so with the incomplete money map in your brain, what happens? You get turned around, you feel lost, and you make yourself unhappy. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. Getting
Yeah.
the fog cleared from your brain. Getting an awesome money map is the goal. It is the way. So are you curious about creating a money map? Right? You want to know what to do? Well, to create a new money map, you need a new vocabulary. And your vocabulary is how you talk to yourself.
Oh yeah.
So literally, persons who have limited vocabulary have limited options. So better money vocabulary equals better money options equals a greater money vision. How do you feel about that statement, Bridget?
I agree with you 100%. You know, when you put yourself in that state, you also begin to make things up. What if this? What about that? Suppose that doesn't happen, and you literally can put yourself in such a spiral, and with no, you know, you can't hit a target you don't see. So because you're just there, living in your own head, getting more and more fearful, freezing yourself to death, then you
Yes.
also begin to look around, you know, and you're losing focus. And another thing people do to make it worse is begin to compare themselves to others, you know, and your age and who has this and how come you don't, and you can really get yourself in a tizzy. And instead of finding solution, and a practical thing I've found is, if you have a negative thought about something, then the minute you have that negative thought, immediately do something to counter that thought. So if you say, boy, I look at my $1 million debt over there and my $500,000 school student loan over there and my car loan is this and my mortgage is that, you know, but you might have a $1,000 water bill. You know what? I'm talking in Jamaican dollars now, of course.
Right, right.
Yeah, $1,000 US dollar water bill is like, what? So Jamaican dollars is what we're talking about. But I mean, go ahead right away and pay the small bill. So it's
That's
like
right.
you interrupt your brain to remind you that if you do the right actions and come up with some kind of strategy, however small, you can learn that the things you're thinking doesn't have to be so, you know,
Right.
and gratitude. Just be grateful for where you are, and make some affirmations about the new thoughts and the new way you want to be, and that should help as well, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Here we go. So if you need help how to clear debt, you want to go forward with getting that clear, I can help you. Make an appointment, www.creditrepairjamaica.com,
Wow, nice.
876-665-3906. You want to get some help on the income side, create new vocabulary there, then that's Bridget. 876-440-9168. So, Bridge,
Yes, ma'am.
we're talking about getting new vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
our mind experience, our money experience, and reaching out for help.
Yes.
So I want to thank you absolutely for being a part of this Money Mastermind, where we agreed to be uplifted in our vocabulary.
Yes.
Thank
Love
you
it.
so much.
My pleasure. Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Bye, everybody. See you next time. Let go of